Someone on a rooftop in China pointed their camera at the night sky in 2026, and what they caught stretched across the entire horizon in a single perfectly straight line of white light, moving slowly and deliberately over the city below it, like something of an almost incomprehensible size was making a very unhurried crossing overhead. Three separate orbs hung to the right of the main formation, steady and evenly spaced. This passed over millions of people, which is why for some alien enthusiasts, this sighting was very convincing.
What is that? What the fuck is that? Zoom in, zoom in. What? Oh shit.
I look down the street and I see this black SUV, completely tinted. As it's driving past us, I see a flash of green light come from the car. So now Melissa's kind of a little freaked out and she goes, I don't know about that. UFO, Men in Black is coming. As she says that, a helicopter flies over our house and starts heading towards. Another helicopter comes from the distance. Now this light is surrounded by 5 to 6 helicopters. And they're all just hovering, just looking at this light.
The light in the sky started like flashing, like almost like pulsating, and then went out, completely out.
So now I come inside the house and I'm just completely done with the experience, which I find to be weird right now. Like if that same thing were to happen right now, me and Melissa wouldn't be able to stop talking about it. But for some reason, on that specific day, we walked in, she was like finishing the dishes in the kitchen. I looked at her, I go, yo, that was crazy, right? She was like, I know. That was like a real UFO. And that was all we said.
Then a little bit, we started watching a movie. I believe the movie Nacho Libre had just came out. So that we started watching that with the kids.
And me and Melissa are just talking. And at that time, we had a really old Roku. And if you know the first edition of Roku, it just puts the time like kind of bouncing as a screensaver when you don't change the channel after a while. I can see 1043 just bouncing around. In the middle of me saying something, she goes, shh, shh. Do you hear that? I can hear the doorknob being jiggled in my front door to my house. As I'm walking slowly towards the door, a bright white light was in my face and it completely blinded me.
Check the undercarriage.
A hunter squeezed his trigger, but his bullet never reached the elk. On October 25, 1974, Carl Higdon was hunting in the mountains outside Rawlins, Wyoming, when he claimed reality suddenly stopped making sense. He watched his rifle bullet slow down, then hang motionless in midair. As he stood frozen, a strange humanoid approached. It wasn't the classic gray. Higdon described spiky hair, a face filled with large, square teeth like a row of white dice, and one arm ending in what looked like a spiral drill bit. The being identified itself as Osawan. According to Higdon, he was taken aboard a craft where he saw several other humans sitting silently in separate compartments. The next thing he remembered, he was back on Earth. Searchers later found him confused, dehydrated, and many miles from where he expected to be. Medical examinations found no clear explanation for what he claimed had happened. Skeptics point to disorientation, psychological stress, or memory distortion. Supporters argue that Higdon's bizarre description has remained remarkably consistent for more than 50 years. If Carl Higdon invented the story, why describe an alien unlike almost any other ever reported?
This video is absolutely incredible. Watch it multiple times, however many times you need to. Slow it down, pause it. And I have to tell you, I don't think this is AI. The footage comes from a couple of friends who were investigating initially what appeared to be lights in the sky, landed in a little desert area. So they went to investigate. And what they found, at first, they believed to be a gray alien. But as they were getting close to potentially grab it, something stands up, something taller. And this is where I don't believe this is AI. This may be some of the best footage ever captured of potential alien contact. Take a look at this, comment below, tell me what you think.
No hagan ruido, no hagan ruido, no hagan ruido. ¿Escuchas cómo lo hace? No hagan ruido, no hagan ruido. Escucha. No hagan ruido, no hagan ruido. ¡Ey, morro! Es uno de esos macetones. Es un macetón. Es un macetón. Hay que agarrarlo, güey. Es uno chiquito, güey. Es uno chiquito. Míralo. Miren, amigos. Mira, güey, sí lo estás agarrando, mames. Sí. Se está moviendo. Sí. Vente. No mames, güey, mira, güey. No mames. Amigos, ¿cómo le hablamos a estos güeyes? No mames, ¿qué hacen? ¡Ey! ¡Ay, hijo de su puta madre! No mames, vete a la verga, güey. ¿Es esa mamá? Esa mamá está más grande. ¿Qué es esa mamá? Está más grande. Se está moviendo.
Sácate a la verga. Mira.
Ahí viene, pa.
Estos güeyes.
No mames, ¿qué hacen? ¡Ey! ¡Ay, hijo de su puta madre!
No mames, vete a la verga, güey.
¿Es esa mamá? Esa mamá está más grande.
¿Qué es esa mamá?
Está más grande. Se está moviendo.
Sácate a la verga.
It is one of the largest admissions in UFO history that you're admitting and announcing through an authorized disclosure that you had to get authorized. It's amazing they authorized it, that we have a UFO in our possession, and that I know you've already affirmed it, but that is a factual statement under sworn testimony. I mean, you would tell that right to Congress, right?
If that's what's in the book, they can read it themselves. If they want my hand up, I could do that, but I can't go beyond what is in the text.
The footage you're about to see matters for one reason. It was officially documented, tracked, and locked by a highly advanced U.S. military sensor system. Check this out. So Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp just released this previously unseen footage. It's military filmed, and it was recorded on August 23rd of 2012. It was captured using a stabilized electro-optical sensor, and it's very likely that it's an MQ Reaper or a Predator platform. Now, it's obviously not a witness zooming in and out on a shaky smartphone. I mean, it's a tracked object inside of a military-grade targeting interface, and that matters. But I want to take note of a few specific things as we're watching this. Look closely at the lock. So the sensor actively boxes the target, and it keeps it centered even as the objects move around. And that data point rules out lens flare, dust, or camera artifacts, because once active stabilization is involved, those artifact explanations, they fail. Now, the intelligence community officially described these as orbs in formation. And that word orbs, believe it or not, is actually technical. It's used when sensors can't resolve a shape, but the objects maintain a fixed distance from each other. Interesting, right? There's no signs of visible propulsion, no navigation lights, no exhaust plume, no vapor trails, and despite being recorded on some of the most advanced sensors on Earth, these were officially cataloged as UAP. I mean, and that's a designation that the intelligence community maintains to this day. So it doesn't tell us what they are, but it does tell us that they were observed, they were tracked, and they remain unidentified inside official military systems. Let me know what you think in the comments.
All right. Welcome to Amphibian Fear Files, where we explore the truth and try to see if it's real or not. Okay, I got a couple of strange encounters. We got people who have had been abducted or been or they done had face-to-face contact with otherworldly beings. So let's get back to it.
I see big light falling from the sky, and moments after I feel a big impact and a shock wave. When I tried to look at the object, it was all blurry, and I hear thousands of footsteps around me. At this point, we all freaking out, me and my family. Then my brother calls me, look behind the forklift, and then I see the alien. It was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature, a gray-greenish color, and he has a weird-looking feet, and I could hear his loud, deep breathing, and I could see his stomach moving, and a big face, and eyes, and you can see a big mouth. And when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze. The same experience as having sleep paralysis. Seconds later, I can start moving again, and I start running towards the house. That's when I call 911.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They look like aliens to us. I'm waiting for the police to come, and you can hear footsteps in the backyard area, and a loud whispering, like you hear whispering. You can hear footsteps on the roof.
Do you see anything land in your backyard, or
they see like a big? That's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
So they went in the backyard, and one of the officers pointed at the floor, and it was a perfect circle. So they left, and we went inside the house, and we started praying. As we're praying, you can hear a loud scream in the backyard. This is what happened to me on May 1st, 2023.
First happened to me, I was not into science fiction.
Years, 3 decades since the silence of the Pacific Northwest forest was shattered by a story that refused to die.
What happened to the alien?
It could actually be real, legit.
This is legit alien footage.
A story of a man, a discovery, and a truth that lay beyond the stars.
Would you play the sound for us once again, please?
Yes, I will.
This is the case of Dr. Jonathan Reed.
This is what so many people try to say doesn't exist.
He found something not of this earth, an extraterrestrial being, and with it, a technology that defied human understanding.
I didn't believe in any of this at all, but yet I couldn't deny what was happening to me.
So I ended up just opening the thermal blanket and wrapping the body up into it. I'll show you the videotape. I said the body's in the garage. But again, the proof was in the freezer. The entity that I call Freddy is in constant communication with me. It has to do with things that are happening now and that are going to be happening soon.
Is that thing breathing? Or what is it doing? It sounds like it's breathing.
Come on, work.
Oh, that's the guy. That's the guy breathing. I thought it was the alien breathing.
I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large.
At exactly 11:50 p.m. on April 30th, 2023, Las Vegas police officers witnessed something extraordinary. Their body cam captured a bright, glowing green spear of light tearing across the night sky. And only 40 minutes later, 16-year-old Angel Kenmore had called 911 from his family's backyard. His voice shook as he told dispatchers.
Okay, what's going on over there?
Okay, lady. Me, my dad, and my brother were working on a truck in our backyard, and we have a big lot outside, right? Correct?
Okay.
We were working, and we just see in a corner of our eye something fall down from the sky, and it was with light, and when it hit down, it was like a big impact, and we felt it. We felt like an energy, and then we hear like a lot of footsteps near us, and then we have a big equipment, and we see, and there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one beside it, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
When officers arrived, they took the call seriously because of the strange light they seen in the sky. One of the officers said,
My partner said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious.
Multiple family members had backed up Angel's story, with his father, mother, and brother all confirming that they witnessed the same beings. Officers had searched the backyard, but the official body cam footage of this moment was redacted, removed due to privacy issues. And within days, the case was marked unfounded and quickly closed. However, the family had footage and they would release it on YouTube a week after the incident, with many people analyzing it, claiming that an alien is actually visible in certain parts of the footage, right as the family walks out of the gate. In 2024, Scott Roeder, a crime scene reconstruction expert, analyzed the footage using motion tracking software and claimed that he identified 2 figures right outside the gate using what he believes is cloaking technology, appearing smoky and unclear to the camera. In the weeks that followed the actual encounter, the family claimed that they were harassed. They reported sightings of suspicious vehicles and men in black suits lurking near their property. Do you believe these were actually aliens? Comment your thoughts down below.
1983, when we seen this object. Well, it wasn't an object, it was a shining back there. We didn't know what it was. And I couldn't really get a clear picture of it. I went in the house and got my binoculars and looked out across the field and make out what was out there, and I couldn't really see very good because of the way the terrain is here.
But with your naked eye, you'd seen some stuff glittering.
Yeah, I did, glittering.
And what about you?
Well, that's what he told me. He said, there's something out there. I keep seeing something flickering. It's out of the ordinary. You just don't see something, you know, shining and flickering across.
And so it's right out here.
Mm-hmm. It was right across there.
Now, when you got here and you put the binoculars up, what exactly could you see?
Well, when I put the binoculars up and looked in there, there was a green cone-shaped craft back there. It was green and looked solid. And it had there was a door on it with a platform coming out onto the side of the hill. And the lizard-type creature, he was standing next to the cone-shaped ship. I told Paula, I said, look, Paula, there's something back there. Look at this. Look at this. And she took the binoculars and looked through them.
I took them and I looked. Just like that. And I couldn't see I didn't see the craft, but I could see the creature.
Now,
and then I got to...
Which creature?
It had big green eyes. And it looked like leaves on it, or like it was camouflaged. And I'm looking at it, and then it looked at me with its big eyes, and my heart just stopped beating, and I couldn't breathe. And I just said, it's staring right back at me. And so then I handed them back to Ron. I said, I saw the thing, and it's looking right back at me. And so then he started looking some more, and I was really getting scared.
Now, where is it? Which one saw the cow and these two little griffins?
That's where we looked again. I was back there trying to find out where that ship and everything was, back and forth, and I could see it. And I passed the binoculars back to Paula again because we were fighting back and forth with the binoculars. Man, we
wanted to see, because I keep thinking, has it moved? You know.
And that's when she looked and seen that little.
I looked at, because see, then I'm looking over there and I'm thinking, all right, if he's right there, then what's was shining? And I saw this big black cow laying down with its mouth, and I said, my God, they got a cow. But what are they doing to it? And it was just laying there. And it had its eyes open, and its tongue was like hanging out a little bit, not real bad, but it just laid there and didn't move. And they just were running their fingers over it like that, and running them down it and looking at their fingers.
Now, these are two little white?
Two little silver beings. And their heads, it didn't look like there was no helmet on. So, because I thought, I wonder if they can breathe our air, so you would think like an astronaut helmet or something. But I didn't see nothing like that. But they had these little packs on their back.
Okay, now show me again. Let's say that the cow...
And the cow was laying down.
Here. And it's completely still.
Uh-huh. And its head is like right where your foot would be, and its mouth's open. And then there was one being on one side and one on the other. And they just reached over to it and were like fingering through its hair on its neck. Because, like, see, there's its neck and the head. And they were just doing like that. And then looking at your fingers. Then the next thing is they had their hands over it, and there was a black ramp. And they just went like this, and the cow just went up, and it just floated right up the ramp into a hill. And once it got into the hill, like where the trees are, see?
You mean like a conveyor belt or something?
Yeah.
Did they just like float? Did the cow float?
The cow just floated right up. And there was nobody hauled it. I mean, it just moved right onto that ramp and just went right up and disappeared right into the hill, into where the trees are and everything. And it looked like there was actually a hill that it went up into.
Which was the ship. And Paula got me real nervous.
I got scared.
She got real scared because she said, hey, if they're doing that to animals, what can they, what's next? Here we are, a family. They can come over here and do as they well please if they're doing,
Out in the boon.
This is still classified footage, according to the source. This pilot is catching something astounding. What appears to be a craft with some kind of energy field swirling around its hull. This thing is amazing. Could this footage be real? This pilot's UFO encounter will leave you speechless. Suddenly this strange object appeared out of nowhere. It wasn't a bird, it wasn't a plane, and it sure wasn't Superman. This mysterious craft darted around his plane with impossible speed and agility. A seasoned pilot with over 20 years of experience described it as otherworldly. He managed to capture it on his cockpit camera. The footage shows a sleek, glowing object moving perfectly in line with his aircraft in the sky. Experts are baffled. Was it a secret military aircraft, or perhaps something not of this Earth? The pilot says he's never seen anything like it, and neither have we. Whatever it was, one thing's for sure, not of this world. The truth is out there. Stay tuned for more incredible UFO stories. Don't forget to like, share.
Excuse me. How y'all doing out there? I want to give a formal introduction. Welcome once again to my channel, Anferian Fear Files, where we explore the truth and try to uncover what's real and what's not. And we question everything. Okay? And sometimes we shake it up a little bit. But today, I have strange encounters. People who have come across, you know, the UFOs, aliens, just strange things that's happening out there. So, let's get back to it.
Touch, magnetizing, feels like I am floating, leaves my body glowing. They say, be afraid, you're not like the others. Futuristic lover, different DNA. They don't understand you. You're from a whole nother world, a different dimension.
They get within 15, 20 feet of him, and they're not balls of light, they're glowing eyes. Each one looked like one, but when you get close enough, they're two round, red glowing eyes. And they were 3 to 4 feet tall, little translucent glowing beings. They look like black in the dark if they're not glowing, because they're translucent. And their eyes are round, and anyhow, it scared him real bad. He couldn't talk, he couldn't speak, he couldn't yell, totally paralyzed. I found him. Those beings were still there when I walked up to him, because he saw them. And that broke whatever they were doing with him. They had him paralyzed. He couldn't move. That's one reason it traumatized him so bad.
Is this your boy who's with us?
Yeah. He come out of the... Today is the first time he ever spoke about it publicly in the last 20 years later. Comes out of there, and he's in shock. His eyes are this big, and I'm worried about him. And he's like, well, why did you leave me, Dad? Why did you leave me? I said, I didn't leave you. I was only gone 20 minutes. He said, no, you've been gone all night. And he was in shock. Eyes great big. Shaking. I drag him back to the fire, which is 50 yards away, down to the bank where they're standing. Now they're freaking out because they're hearing me talk about balls of light and hearing Kris Jenner talk about glowing creatures, glowing red eyes. So suddenly one of the guys in the group yells, and we look up and here's like 8 or 9 stars just come together, and they're bright as Venus, and they start moving about. And 3 of them landed in front of us, 75 yards away, on the other side of the river, up on the bank. So we got 3 glowing white 40-foot balls of light, pulsating like a welder's light, sitting on the other side of the river. Now the river's 50 yards wide. It's just up on the bank. Took 1 second for them to see what we were saying was happening. They jumped in my truck. I had a Ford F-150 4-door. Left poles, left coolers, everything there. We took off out of there, going back up towards the gate, right? Well, one of the guys yells and is screaming to the top of his lungs, and he's looking out back, and here comes this red ball of light, which was one of these beings up behind us, chasing the truck, going up out of there. I didn't see it, but they testified to it. We got to the top of the hill, crossed the top of that hill, almost airborne in that muddy dirt road. As soon as we get to above the hill, I slammed on brakes because there's the same orbs that took me 4 hours earlier were still there, 2 of them.
Recalled tall, jaundiced skin, very white-haired, wearing white nightgown type, meaning no structure, who had little grays all around. She became frightened because she began picking up telepathic thoughts, and that one of the jaundiced tall ones telepathed, "I apologize. We're not only not alone in the universe, we are in interstellar trade for rare metals with ETs that have been helping us since this is still not clear. Which non-humans are on the other side of agreements about having the quote unquote permission to take X percentage of animal, let's just say Earth life. Right. That includes humans. I think that that is one of the facets that is probably true. Mm-hmm. Terry Lovelace, who is a longtime abductee, he and I have talked about that. He saw the vats, a huge wall of them. The part that is again confusing is this. The abduction cases that I know about, one being a woman and her son abducted from Cimarron, New Mexico in I think it was 1980. She ended up underground and recognized where she was, underground in Las Cruces, New Mexico, which is a hop and a jump from White Sands. It's very close, all underground. She is the first person that I know of on the entire planet who, under hypnosis with Dr. Leo Sprinkle from the University of Wyoming, director of counseling and testing, very, very competent, very, very grounded, very, very grounded. His investigations of animal mutilations and human abductions are as good as anybody ever did. In the hypnosis that he did with her, her first name was Myra. She recalled tall, jaundiced skin, very white-haired, wearing white nightgown type, meaning no structure, who had little grays all around, which we now know today in 2021, those are artificial intelligence, who do the bidding of tall grays, tall reptilians, tall blondes, red hairs, black hairs. So whenever you have any description of the little ones, it would be like our saying our computers could get off the desk and walk around and we could talk to the computers and they could go downstairs, they could go out to the car, they could do what we programmed them to do. And that she became frightened because she began picking up telepathic thoughts. And that one of the jaundiced tall ones telepathed, I apologize, like she's hearing it in English, because they go to the language center of any brain in front of them. They don't need to do anything except just communicate telepathically.
Yeah.
So that's why I say English.
And the thoughts are translated.
They aren't translating. They're going right into the brain, into the language center. And that this tall one, in the apology, she started getting telepathic thoughts. And the telepathic thoughts scared her. As if whatever the apology was, whatever else she was feeling between every being that was in the room, she was picking up that it was not honest, that she was afraid, and she ran. And some people would say, well, that's not possible. The ETs can control all of us at any moment. They can paralyze. Who is to say on something like she's standing in front of a tall, real organic power who is in the act of apologizing and she becomes afraid? I don't think it is a rule that if a human starts running because they're afraid, that doesn't mean that that it would mean that the tall jaundiced one would immediately be able to free. Well, she was just getting contradiction from all of the little ones and the tall one. When she ran, she did not, as anybody, she did not know where she was running. She just ran. And she ran down a hall and she heard water. And she ran for where she heard water. And here was a round, huge tank in the ground. And in it were floating beings with large heads. And she saw organ parts in the water that she recognized as she thought were from cattle. That is the case, the Myra case, and the hypnosis from Dr. Leo Sprinkle that was the first time and led to discussions by John Lear and Bob Lazar and others later on. That this was where the beings were absorbing their nourishment. And last night I had Kathleen Marden. She has worked on 5,000 different abduction cases in her work. Mm-hmm. And she has broken down and said last night, the non-humans that we are dealing with, we'd be in all categories. They do not eat like we do. They have solutions and they have gels. They immerse their bodies in some of the solutions for nourishment. They have gels that they put on for medicine. And there was another category. And suddenly it's like 70 years are beginning to fall into comprehension, cattle mutilations and the human abductions, and your question about would the extractions from the animals be building other containers or being used for hybrids? My answer is maybe both of those, but it's very clear that there is a process of extraction of organic material from this planet in a lot of ways that are turned into products that we humans would not recognize, would not understand, liquids and gels by absorption in the skin. Finally, a truth. As simple as that. If you look back 5,000 years or 12,000 to Göbekli Tepe, and you look at the history of this planet in which there have been these boxes of religions, there have been the so-called gods that made humans get down on their knees to them. And I don't think one of them was ever a god. They were ETs. The whole planet for at least 12,000 years is demonstrably one in which Homo sapiens sapiens is abused. Because from my point of view, If you are a civilization that evolves for 12,000 years and you are always under the thumb of another intelligence that manipulates you, we are a god, get down on your knees to us. We are a god, bring us whatever, the blood, the sacrifices of animals that go back into other periods of time. And that humans are never, ever talked to, communicated honestly. Then we are today in the 21st century, 12,000 years later. We are an abused species. And part of this abused species is going out into the Milky Way galaxy and beyond without a single general human population knowing and it being told we're not alone. That we are finally being given respect enough for the truth of something so huge. We're not only not alone in the universe, we are in interstellar trade for rare metals with ETs that have been helping us since the 70s. And that I would stress, there are other intelligences, there are beings, and they really care about us. And they want us to get past this difficult time of lies, deception.
We're like all in a circular area. That's crazy.
It's happening. Finally, don't believe me. Look how they're moving now.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're like staying.
They're like
this
round.
center.
Look, there's one over to the left. Zoom out, get all of them. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. The other ones dip down to the right.
What would that be, Orlando?
No, that's Speedway. That's the racetrack, Daytona.
Well, those are different.
What's
That's
that?
ISB.
What are you, is that water?
Yeah, it's like a
Oh.
weed killer, but I use water. Dusty
No,
actually
okay,
got me.
well-
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's awesome.
No, I love it. It's a mister. It's like perfect.
They got like red and green lights on the wall. Look at ground.
Those are no red and green.
There's no red and green
I
lights.
see red and green.
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 All right.
Look, top right. See red and green blinking.
I don't see red and green.
Not the middle one.
They're really big for drones. That's far away.
Look at this.
It's like helicopters.
Oh, look, Tommy, look. Look. He's got it zoomed in.
Looks like a disco ball.
It does.
Dude, that's
I've seen
creepy.
those. I've seen those.
Almost like an angel in there.
Yeah, it's like those.
Whoa,
What are they called?
the lightning in the background.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna go live.
Hurry. Wait, what?
Here, babe.
Even the lightning's weird.
alive, though.
Oh.
Look at the lightning. Even the lightning's
That's
weird.
what I'm saying.
What's that? Oh, that's a plate.
We're going that way
I would say
anyway.
it's unusual for how close
Can
they
we go
are.
down? Can we see it from downstairs?
No.
I get your phone.
Look at, there's something coming right through.
Someone's coming.
Okay, that's another thing. Drones cannot fly there.
Look how big
That's an airport.
Look how much bigger it is than
Now
the
that
phone
was
now.
3 of them. Now it's 3 of
Exactly.
them.
It's
So
a no-fly
that do
zone.
look like there's something right there in the middle. I mean, well, it just flew past it.
It's
Or
bigger
was
than
that
a
an
plane.
airplane? Might have been an airplane.
Those are bigger than planes.
Dude,
Look how big
look
that
at
is,
it.
and then look how big that is over there.
What are you gonna say? Oh,
Holy shit.
I already got it.
We're getting lower. We're getting invaded.
They're landing.
Hurry! Hurry! Look, can you unlock
Oh,
this?
they're landing.
Dude, we got UFOs. There's UFOs, dude.
These lights are like UFOs. Tommy said there was 4 of them, and they keep going over. They're huge compared to the plane.
It actually looked just like about the size of a water tower, 100 foot across, 100 foot tall, but in a diamond shape. I just panicked. I got in the floorboard.
See it come down and it was like fire was coming from it. Right ahead of us and we had to stop.
Betty Cash and Vicki Landrum stopped the car to investigate, and the local environment is actually being heated by this object to the point where they try to touch their car, and it's hot to the touch.
You could feel the heat off of it. The heat was very intense. It was hot enough for when she grabbed the dash when we stopped. I mean, it was an indentation of where her hand was sitting.
Now, what makes this unique is that when they get home, after a couple of days, they start to show symptoms of being exposed to ionized radiation.
After the incident, all 3 witnesses were treated for radiation exposure.
I got nauseous and sick. It probably lasted 2 or 3 days with me. My grandmother, she had the same symptoms, but she also had blisters on her skin. They would bust open, and she'd have sores for several years after that. Betty Cash suffered the most severe part of it. She was out of the car the longest. According to the doctors, she had the most exposure to it.
Man, that's radiation poison. That's like, you know what I'm saying, from like a nuclear blast or something. That's crazy. Man, the stuff that the government exposes us to. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Anthurian's Fear Files. And I hope that you guys come back for the next showing, and the next showing, and the next showing. And we just keep on going. You hear me? And later, you know what I'm saying, we can get into some other topics and you guys can tell me what you enjoy seeing on the show. So if you like to know, let me know what you guys would like for me to show. You know what I'm saying? Leave down in the comment, man, and I'll comment back, and you know what I'm saying, I'll gladly show your videos. It's no problem. And I'll give you a shout out, you know? So come on with it. Let me know what you think and give me some content. This is for my Facebook friends. Y'all come on over here to YouTube and let's do this thing right. Y'all come on over to YouTube at Anthurian with the @ symbol, Anthurian. ANFEAREN. Anthurian. That's Anthurian. And Anthurian apostrophe is AN apostrophe a space a capital FEAREN. And fear FEAR, all cap, F capital FEAR, and then the files capital FILES. Bam. That's for the Facebook fans. Hey, so look, y'all let me know what y'all guys would like to see, man, and I'll be glad to show it. And I appreciate everybody, all my subscribers who have subscribed in, man. I made it up to like 53, but I need, you know, I'm new and I need more subscribers, man. So when you tune in to my channel, just hit that like button for me, man. Subscribe to my channel, you know, so I can get these algorithms up to, you know, and keep on bringing y'all this content. Tell me what you like so that I can keep on keeping it solid with you guys. You know what I'm saying? All right, solid. Let's move on. Holla. Peace. fifth house.